Council meeting of March 4th, 2019 to order with a moment of silent meditation and salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first up on our agenda is the Rock, Paper, Scissors Children's Fund Bikes for Girls program presentation by Abby Paradis. Abby, come to the podium, please. Explain the program and what you're looking for.
Won't take up too much of your time. I'm just here to bring awareness to an event I will be hosting as my high school senior thesis project this April. It's on April 6th, and I'll be hosting it at the newly renovated Hope Valley Grange and Community Center. This event is to help raise proceeds towards the Bikes for Girls program with the nonprofit Rock, Paper, Scissors Children's Fund, which is based here in Rhode Island, and they work over in Vietnam to help promote the education of girls and also just benefiting the communities that they help there. So the Bikes for Girls program was created because the founder of the organization, Sarah Narone, noticed that a lot of girls were dropping out of school because of the dangers of child trafficking as they walked to school, especially in rural communities. And also the girls had a lot of domestic responsibilities at home, so walking took up a lot of their time. Some of them had to drop out to take up their role at home. So the Bikes for Girls program was created so that they can provide these girls with bicycles, helmets, maintenance kits, and extra seats for siblings so that they have a safer and faster way to get to school, and the hope is to keep these girls in school. So the event is an artisans event. There are 20 local artisans, including myself, that will be selling a whole bunch of different things. We have like handmade soaps, jewelry, pottery, paintings, and the table fees from the artisans goes towards fundraising, but all of the money that the artisans make from the event, they can keep for themselves. However, all of the sales from my artwork will be 100% donated towards the fundraising. We will also be having a raffle, silent auctions, and foods, and all the money made from that will also be donated. So, and it will also be an option for people who come to the event to make it just a donation directly towards Bikes for Girls themselves. And it's a free event, so you can just walk in, and if you don't want to buy anything, then don't buy anything, but there's a lot of great stuff. So I'm sure something will catch your eye. Yes. And we will also be having a table set up by the Rock, Paper, Scissors Children's Fund that will have things that they brought over from Vietnam, and they will also have someone from their organization there so that they can talk more about it in depth, and so that if people have any more questions. We have a lot of support from a lot of local businesses, small businesses, a few big ones too, like Stop and Shop and Dunkin' Donuts, but a lot of small coffee houses and hardware stores, as well as the Hop Arts community. So it will hopefully be an annual thing, and will be taken up hopefully by a Chatham High School student, but that's also still in the works. So I just came here today to let everyone know that this will be going on. Again, this is on April 6th from 10 to 3, and I hope everyone would like to come.
Does anybody have any questions for Abby?
Where does it say?
Where is it?
The Hope Valley
Grange.
And the table fees?
The table fees are $30, but it's currently, we are all full, so we can't take any more artisans to set up.
Oh, I thought it was going to be
It sounds like a wonderful
Well, maybe
idea.
if it's an annual thing, maybe next year,
That's right.
hopefully.
We're glad you're doing this.
How much are the bikes, Abby?
So for $65, it comes with the bike, helmet, maintenance
Okay,
kit.
so if I wanted to donate a bike, just give you a check for $65?
Yes, so $65 will provide for that because they buy all the stuff over in Vietnam because it's much cheaper. Also, no shipping. That
Right.
Oh, use Amazon Prime.
Cash this check real quick.
Does anyone have any more questions?
You speak very well and
Good
I'm
program.
sure
Thank you.
I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you very much. lovely drawing. Very nice.
Okay, next up, consent agenda, approved town council meeting minutes of February 19th, 2019. Approved transcript of February 19th, 2019 as a record of the zoning ordinance amendment and comprehensive plan future land use map amendment decision filed by Joyce K. Wuzzy, Joyce K. Wuzzy Living Trust. Executive session minutes of February 19th, 2019. Budget workshop notes of February 25th, 2019. Budget workshop notes of February 11th, 2019. Approved refund resulting from duplicate payment of real estate taxes submitted by the tax collector.
I'd like to pull February 11th.
I need to pull February 19th. All right, Scott, what do you got on the 11th?
Okay, on page 2 of the 11th, on the top it says Councilor Harris advised that what concerning is that this cap has been placed in about 60 years concerning the regional school district. I think what I said, and I couldn't, and I'm not always perfect, certainly, but we've had regional school districts, I'd say, for about 60 years, 1958, and I think I suggested when I spoke, and I could be wrong, that the caps took effect after we established regional school districts. The timing is that the legislature, when they put these caps in, they didn't make exceptions for how for regional school districts to deal with them. So it looks like I'm saying that the cap has been around for 60 years. Maybe I did say that, but I just like to.
What do you want to say?
Basically, I just want to correct you to say that we've had regional school districts for about 60 years, and that the caps have been instituted after that fact.
We'll make that.
Yeah.
I'm not, I might have been confusing.
I don't think you said 60 years either, but it might be
Many
just
years.
many years.
Many years.
Instead of, they said just many years.
Yeah, because
Because I
caps,
agree.
caps were established after the regional school districts were established.
Okay, that's
So
for-
one down, it would be where Counselor, in the very next sentence, Counselor Capaldo indicated that there is no tax basis, it's tax base. So just a
Thank you.
edit.
I agree.
Okay, so you're just going to correct that?
Yes.
That's all. Thank you.
All right, and then February 19th. Yeah, this was page 1 actually, on 219's notes. This was a budget workshop, right? Was it?
February 9th, it was a regular town council.
Oh, it was, okay. I thought it was, I thought it was
The
budget.
11th and the 25th were your budget work.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. fine.
Were you all set with the
Yep.
minutes?
I have two, sorry. I have on the 11th, page 6. The very last line. About this company was that they had no electricians, that they had no staff, high voltage electricians. They have no high voltage staff electricians at all. They jot that out, which is crucial for us, for everyone. And then on February 19th, page 10, second line from the bottom. The amount in the fund balance be dropped to 500 instead of $2 million. It's not a fund balance, it's a policy that they have. It's a policy for the fund balance. And I didn't ask to drop it by 100,000. I said that both Sharon and I had found 500,000 easily that could be cut from the budget, but not from the fund balance.
So it's the fund balance policy
Um,
was the year of job.
Yeah, but but it didn't have to do with the fund balance policy, it just had to do with the budget
An amount.
overall.
All right,
Dropped
so
by
strike
100.
it back.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the $2 million is the fund balance.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Move that we approve the consent agenda with the noted changes.
Okay, motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. First public forum. Okay. Next under my report,
Was
staff.
there a way, public forum? Oh, I thought your hand went up.
I'd like to speak.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't see the wall.
Yeah, yeah, his hand went up and then
Oh,
I guess
sorry.
you looked down.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of interesting to me that we set out with political allegiance and then we ignore property rights all the time. I came here to answer Scott Will's thing he had in the paper. I called him, he didn't call me back, so I'm answering him right here. I take exception with some of it. The majority of people are against big solar. I feel that's a minority. You've got less than 100 people out of 5,000 or 6,000 voters come in, and they want to impose their will on the majority. I don't know what the majority thinks about solar, but I do know they would not like to see the taxes go up. Now, we threw away 2 good sources of revenue that you could not see except with an airplane. We can't afford to take the school down. We can't afford to take our trees down. I'm on a dirt road, we can't afford to keep it up to town standards. And when I talk to people, they say, well, working on getting industry. I've lived in this town 70 years. Near as I can see, they worked on keeping it up. It's always the wrong kind. Now, what are we gonna do to alleviate our taxes? I'd like an answer.
Yeah, it's public forum, Walter, so I can't really go back and forth on that question, but one of us can get back, I can certainly get back in, or maybe Scott, perhaps.
I did call that number and nobody answered yesterday, but I will call you back and,
Well, I just answered you. You don't have to.
no, like you said, if it's not on the agenda, we can't speak to it. Right. I had asked Mrs. Gardner if it was her number, because I do remember calling that number back. I had another person from the whole Valley area call me, and I did get back to that person.
Well, I don't know how I work in the industry, because I lived here 70 years, and we've done nothing but keep it up.
But
And that's why, now Wesley taxes are half our taxes. They have city water, they have city sewage, they have a landfill. Where do we go? And our taxes double. I have nothing against kids living in a town. They gotta live somewhere. People get the idea I'm against kids. I'm not against kids. I'm against keeping industry out that helps relieve the taxes so they can afford to be here. I would not like to see my grandchildren taxed off the place. That's all I got to say.
Thanks, Walter. All right, anyone else in public forum? Okay. Next, under my report, status regarding the updated, the update was the proposed fiscal year 1920 budget, sessions that we had on the 11th and 25th, and then the Charter School Committee meeting, that's tomorrow. To date, we've only reduced our operating budget, I think about $2,400, and we increased revenue maybe $750, so it's not much. We're trying the best we can to figure out the budget and mitigate the increase that we're faced with because of the enrollment shift and the state aid to education that's been declining over the years. So we'll keep at it. And then Charahoe budget is really the source, at least for me and most others, of our increase and our pain for this budget cycle. They've got a meeting tomorrow that goes over, I guess, most of their budget. If you have any concerns, questions, it'd be helpful for anybody to come and support the town council and your town, because we're going to have an increase, and it's directly attributed to their enrollment shift, or the school's enrollment shift with our town in Charlestown, and the state aid to education. So we invited our school committee members to a meeting, and to my knowledge, none of them proposed any reductions in the current budget. So that's something that I'll bring up tomorrow at their meeting at the middle school at 7:30. Just to,
Just to let you know, Lisa Macaruso did bring up the points that you had gone over and the council had gone over at the last school budget meeting. They did not change the budget, but she did bring up 3 or 4 points that we had made. However, they did not change the budget.
I think the whole point of us making suggestions is
She did
to
bring it up.
act on them.
Right.
You know, at least,
She did bring it up.
yeah, she brought it up,
Yeah,
but
I
like I
mean-
said, I think it falls on deaf ears, so anyway. So, all
By
right.
the
but-
way, on this topic, the state aid that we got 25 years ago, we received more state aid than we do today.
Interesting, though, isn't it? Yeah. And the beat goes on. Anyway, thank you, folks. Town manager report, Bill McGarry.
Thank you. During January and February, Planner Jim Landfair and I worked on the proposed Stubtown Road dump solar array. Jim is working closely with Rhode Island DEM officials, and I've been working with Chris Kearns from the Rhode Island Department of Administration, who provided the town with 2 sample RFPs, requests for proposals. One is for financial consultant services, and the second is for a private-public partnership to construct a solar array in the future. Discussions are currently ongoing, and the town is currently awaiting a written confirmation from DEM that the newer of the 2 dumps was properly capped. We also met with Planning Board Chair Al Diorio, who provided us with some documentation from past years on the dump, and there'll be more information to follow. Jim has forwarded an extensive amount of documentation to DEM, and we're just trying to work through that with them, so to try to get an acknowledgement from them that it was properly capped. To be continued at a later date. On February 21st, I worked with representatives from the Lamfrembois Water Company, they're our water consultants, and the town solicitor on the current status of paperwork required by the Rhode Island Department of Health regarding the 1-mile water line in Hope Valley and the town wells at the Crandall House and at the town hall. We had a meeting this afternoon with Solicitor Kevin McAllister, Finance Director Brian Rosso, and the representatives from the water consultant company to make sure that we had all our ducks in a row, so that when we meet with the Department of Health officials, that hopefully that meeting will go smoothly. And lastly, on February 21st, I interviewed 4 candidates for the position of part-time animal control officer. It's about 12 hours a week. And the town has subsequently hired Chelsea Spakowski of Rockville, Hopkinton, for the position. She's scheduled to begin work on March 12th, and we'll be introducing her to the council at a future meeting.
Okay, any questions for Bill, guys? Maybe? Thanks, Bill. Okay, next up, under old business, discuss, consider, and possibly approve 2 motions to reconsider and clarify the wording of the 2 motions made, seconded, and unanimously approved by the town council at its February 19th, 2019 meeting, and pertaining to the then pending decision on the applications for a comprehensive plan future land use map amendment and a zoning ordinance map amendment filed by Joyce K. Luzzy, Joyce K. Luzzy Living Trust, 145 Secana Boulevard, Narragansett, Rhode Island, 02882, for property located at 165A Tomaquag Road, identified as Plat 5, Lot 6, a manufacturing zone, to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map from manufacturing to medium-density residential, and to rezone the parcel from manufacturing to R1. The purpose of this agenda item is to consider making it more clear that the council's February 19, 2019 intent was to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map and the zoning classification for the referenced parcel from manufacturing to R1, so that the final form of written decision clearly and accurately reflects the intended action by the town council. I thought it was done correctly. I talked to Lisa, she said, no, the transcript and my notes otherwise state something different, so I thought you did it correctly, Sylvia, but
Maybe I left off the comprehensive plan?
I don't know.
Just did the future.
You went out of order,
Oh,
but then I thought you went back and I thought,
Yeah.
anyway, so I thought, what do I know? Anyway. But anyway, so Kevin, do you have anything to add, I guess?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a hiccup, and I missed it, but the first motion was made properly and seconded properly. It was the second motion. Basically, what we did was the council voted twice to approve the amendment of the comprehensive future land use map, and did that twice, and then didn't move to actually rezone the parcel. So I think to do this procedurally tonight, we just
do
need,
it all over.
yeah, we just need a motion to reconsider the two votes, and presumably the council vote on that and grant it, and then we need to have the two motions made again.
I move that we can reconsider these two votes.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Now,
Okay,
what is
Then
the,
we need a
Yeah,
motion.
then we need a motion.
Be quiet.
If you look at the agenda, if we look at the agenda, under old business, this item, the second paragraph, we need a motion to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map so that the parcel in question is shown to be changed from manufacturing to R1. That's the first motion.
but we have to say plat 5 lot.
Yeah.
Okay, just as
All right.
We need two motions.
Right.
First, we have to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map
Right.
from its current manufacturing to medium-density residential.
Right.
That's the one.
So,
Second part is to change the zoning from its current manufacturing to R1.
stay there.
So it's just move to amend the comprehensive plan, future land use map, and the zoning.
No,
And then that's, and to a medium density, from manufacturing to medium density R1,
Medium-density
Residential.
residential, one.
Second.
No, the one is zoning. R1 is a zoning designation.
Right.
So your
Say
first
again.
motion is to
Change the comprehensive
Future land use
plan,
map.
future land
plan,
use map
future land use
for
map
manufacturing.
to medium density residential.
That's it, period.
Period.
motion made and seconded.
Next one is just.
No, we gotta vote on it.
We get a vote. Motion was made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Next.
Now we want to change the
Motion to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map from manufacturing.
No, we don't
have
We
to
just did that.
We just did that.
the zoning.
Motion to rezone the parcel from manufacturing to R1.
Motion was made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Happy,
Are we good?
Thank you.
Yes.
Sylvia, I thought you did it perfectly.
Obviously not.
Okay, thank you. New business number one, discuss and consider holding the annual financial town assembly scheduled for May 7th, 2019 in the town council hall chambers rather than the local elementary school that costs money.
And this also comes up on an annual basis. It depends on whether or not there was a lot of activity and if it's a controversial budget, which we never know that if it's going to be. So far, it hasn't been. So typically what you do is you usually,
Okay, here.
yes, okay, exactly. So there's been no change in the intent, so you should.
Do we have to vote on
You
that?
don't have to.
Good.
Just
Ready to
we
make
can do it
just
here.
do it.
Yeah, so you don't feel otherwise and that we should have that in use.
Number two, under new business, discuss, consider, and vote to approve a 2-year solid waste contract between the towns of Hopkinton and Westerly in the annual amounts of $15,000 for fiscal year 2019-20 and $16,000 for fiscal year 2020 through 2021, which will allow Hopkinton and its residents and taxpayers the right to use the Westerly transfer station.
I just have a question or comment. I don't have a problem voting for this. My concern is that with all the hullabaloo at Terrell about not using CAP, would that are we gonna take a hit for voting for
We
this?
don't have any cap to give.
It got solved, Richmond gave it to him. Charlestown didn't.
Right.
Yeah, and.
We don't have a cap to give, so.
And not only that, I think that we're at this point in the budget where we should make this, this has been a very good contract for us for the last several years, probably one of the best ones we have. So I would like to make a motion that we vote to approve the 2-year solid waste contract between the towns of Hopkinton and Westerly in annual amount of $15,000 for fiscal year 2019-20 and $16,000 for fiscal year 2020-21.
Second.
Okay, motion made and second. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
I wrote a note, I left a note for my husband and I didn't get the answer because he left early. So my question would be, is there anyone here that, is there anyone here that goes to the dump?
Yes.
Westerly dump? Do you have to still buy the bags?
No,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
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 So Walmart. Yeah. So we're buying the bags,
Mhm.
which, so, you know, we're buying the bags and like everybody else, okay? But in addition to that, we're gonna give them $15,000 to $16,000 a year.
But we also, we can get rid of our electronics, or we can get rid of our mattresses, our books and bags and boxes and paper. We can get rid of our leaves, our Christmas trees. We have.
That's a pretty good list.
Yeah. I go all the time because they are clean, they run it beautifully. I do not have to support it other than $15,000 a year, and they do a great job. And you
So-
can go everywhere, all the way around.
But pursuing this, I just think that, I wonder how it works in Richmond. There are residents that choose to go to Richmond, and I don't really know how that works. Do you have to buy bags to go to Richmond? How
No,
do
you
you
can't go to
pay?
Richmond
How
anymore.
do you pay them?
No, you can go to Richmond. I just went there, you have to go to the town hall, non-residents, $25 to get a sticker.
Yeah.
Lasts for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Recyclables, there's no charge. For trash, it's by the pound
Oh, so you, okay, so you $25 permit,
for the
and
year,
then you pay by pound. So
for
when you-
trash.
For trash.
Right.
So how's that working? What's the pound?
Great, I find another
How
place.
many pounds?
Guys, we don't have a,
Choose to do that, and Westerly still has to buy orange bags.
this agenda item is not for an open discussion on trash. You know, it's
Well, I
different
think it is.
municipalities. No, I know, but not at Richmond.
Well, no, I think it's something we ought to bring up.
You can talk offline. I have a sticker at Richmond. I have to pay for the sticker and what I don't.
Well, how do you think it
I
compares? I was just curious.
Oh, I don't even know. I've never been to
How it
Westwood.
compares? Westerly, I was just curious about it. So do you remember do you have to pay every time you go?
Yeah,
Cash or you pay
Yeah,
with a check?
check.
You pay by check?
He weighs my trailer.
Yep.
And I pay extra pounds based on that.
Would you mind saying what you might pay in a week? I'm just curious.
I don't go every week.
All right,
When I cleaned out my shed,
Yep.
it was, whatever, it was like $80. It was kind of pricey.
Because but it was unusual amount.
Yeah.
From 0 to 49 pounds, it's like $4.75.
Oh, okay.
After that, for garbage, after that, it's $6 or $7.
Then there's metals, like old
Right.
grills, old
Yeah.
metal barrels.
They
They,
charge extra.
no, they don't.
They're free.
They're free.
Well, I get charged. I don't know.
You just got that, I want to pay you money look on your face.
No.
I love the Richmond dump. If I had to like a dump, I like that one.
Yeah, and I like Westerly, it's
Yeah.
beautifully run.
Depends where you are, and then
What's up?
if you've ever rented a dumpster and filled it up, you can understand why we have to pay $15,000 a year. I know of a woman that's going to rent a big dumpster, and it's gonna cost her like $500 for a week or so.
Yep.
And then, now when you fill it up, the truck comes and picks up the dumpster, and they bring it to the landfill in Johnston, and you pay extra for all of that stuff you filled that dumpster up with. That person does. And that, I mean, so what you're actually paying for is you're paying to dispose of your trash, and probably the $15,000 is covering the transport fee. I mean, I can't tell you that, but I know it's very expensive.
This money that we allocate for the dump is for municipal trash, too, right? Like for the town?
No,
No, it's not for the town?
we have a separate contract
Oh,
with,
okay.
like, one of the easy waste companies
Oh, okay.
for the police department, Crandall House, in the town hall, there are 3 dumpsters. We pay separate for that, the town pays for that.
And that's because you choose to have somebody pick up. If somebody comes to your house, it's
Yes,
gonna cost you, right?
yes.
And I have someone who comes to my house and picks up, but I also take things to West or East Down. And I think it's a great deal.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to rely on those resources.
Yeah, and I'll look at Richmond's budget out of curiosity too,
Yeah.
to see what they're paying for the transfer station. Okay.
Lisa, do we have a motion?
We did have a motion and a second.
Okay, motion made and second. Any further discussion? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next up, boards and commissions. Number 1, discuss and consider appointing Christine Cook to the Recreation Commission.
Well, so moved, what a lovely woman.
In the audience. Motion made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Last public forum.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn in the memory of the...
Wait. We said
Public
forum.
Come on over.
You have to scream, jump up and down, wait.
That's right, you gotta make noises.
Sorry, people, like, we didn't even look it up.
Well, you do that, it looks up to here.
Oh,
Ron, wave your arm next time.
then you have stories, okay.
Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is, I don't know if this would be a good time to mention what's going on with the 1904 committee. Tom's
It's a
one
public
bringing
forum,
up-
we can't converse back and forth, Ron, but you can bring anything you want to our attention.
Well, I just want to, so people know. We've sent out RFPs to different people and requested their input on whether they're willing to purchase anything to offset some of the costs. We've got negative response from everybody, so that's pretty much where that stands. But we are pursuing the fact of searching out companies to come in and actually do the demolition. The second thing is the elephant in the room. Everybody's upset about solar. Okay, I can understand that. If you don't really like something, you don't like it. But the elephant in the room is every day we have to purchase 16% of our electricity from Canada just to keep the lights on. 16% of 7 days is 26.88 hours. So if we shut off everybody's power from 6 o'clock Monday morning until 8:45 Tuesday morning, we can be even. We need electricity.
That almost happened today.
That did, that happened already
Hey,
last
guys,
night.
let's
Public forum, that one
One
person.
person
So
speak.
those are facts that can be Googled and looked up. So people just need to be aware of that. We need this stuff, if it's done in an equitable manner, you know, it's not that I'm pro-solar or against solar, but we need electricity from somewhere. There's been numerous power plants shut down in the southern New England region in the past few years. Millstone 1, Braden Point, AES Thames, Montville 1, they're all shut down. They were big power suppliers. There's been more people move in, more kids are growing up and buying homes. I don't want to use the word burden because people misinterpret that, but I'm a burden to the electrical grid, my wife and I. Everybody on the council is, we're a burden on the electrical grid. That's just the way it is. We use electricity. And if we don't have any place to get it, next thing you know, it's $13.50 again. That's it, thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Can I just want to add something to the minutes. 2 public forums, I didn't get up and speak.
And
There's a guy.
speak.
Oh,
There's a
all
guy.
of that, oh, yeah.
There's a guy.
All right, folks,
Okay.
Scott.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting in memory of the Reverend Gene Barry, who is mover of the Wesley Warm Center in Wesley to benefit homeless and other people in this local region.
Motion made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Sure.